Good morning, my brethren. I got my teeth in. I'm going to work. My first day on the new job. So, I thought I would start a new study this week. The Divine Calendar is done. And I wanted to bring up this topic because I think it's vitally important that we understand the meaning of death. So, this is the study I'm bringing you. What is death? It's an early show. It's going to probably be an early show every day. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully I can either do a show in the evenings maybe for the day before, or we'll see how it works out anyway. But this morning I'm coming to you fairly early. And just to get going on my new week of work. So we'll get things rocking and rolling here. No problem. To bring you the truth that needs to be brought out. Okay, what is death? Death and judgment. Amazing as it may seem to some, death is a return. Man is soil and returns to the soil. Genesis 3:19. The spirit returns to God who gave it. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 7. And the soul returns to the unseen whence it came. Psalm chapter 9 verse 17 and Acts 2:27 and 31. In fact, Job speaks of death itself as a return when he says, "For I know that thou wilt return me to death." Job chapter 30 verse 23, and that's from the Authorized Version there. Neither man as a whole nor any part of him enters a new unknown condition at death, but all returns to the state from which it emerged when life was imparted. Even as the body was created of existing entities, so with the spirit which was given by God, and at death these return to the same condition in which they were. This truth has been obscured by inconsistency in rendering the Hebrew word shub, S-H-U-B. This word is represented in the English Authorized Version by 142 variations in rendering. On the other hand, 5 Hebrew words are translated return. Our only recourse is a fresh concordance study of the term. The main question to be decided is whether this Hebrew word simply means to turn, or if it includes the thought of a previous condition, hence a return. Okay. There are a few passages which clearly prove that this Hebrew word means not only to turn, but to return. Many instances are quite misleading if we should translate turn, but all are clear with a prefix, re, return. With this key in our hands, we are able to unlock the secret of death. And if we apply it first of all to the material part of mankind, the body, we not only have unquestionable proof of its truth, but are supplied with a parable of the spirit and a clue as to the soul. The body is soil. Consider then the facts as to the body. It is soil. At death it returns to the soil whence it came. While it was a part of the body, this soil was stamped with our personality. We speak of it as our body, though the elements which compose it are constantly changing and are entirely decomposed in death. As a matter of fact, even 7 years or so, the body has undergone an entire change, so far as its material components are concerned. Yet it is the same body as far as we are aware. Perhaps it would not be too much to say that our bodies die every 7 years and are renewed as often. This, of course, is a gradual process, nevertheless a real one. It should help us to realize what the death of a body involves. Could we compress this process of dying into a brief period and check the repair processes? Then we have death itself. This daily dying is a continual reminder and a constant intimation of mortality. Death is written large in our daily experience, for it is perpetually operating in our bodies to return them to the soil from whence they came. And it is to this that the Scripture points us if we would realize what death means. It should teach us that the body is not identified with any arbitrary, unchangeable portion of the soil, but remains the identical body when the material elements which compose it have been replaced by entirely different substance. The elements which return to the soil have no more consciousness or identity than they had before we partook of them in the form of food. Okay, I'm going to do a small study this morning because I got a little bit of a commute to my new job. Okay, so with that, I will say grace and peace. Have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.